General, let me get your thoughts on North Korea before you go. Russian President Vladimir Putin called North Korea's latest missile launch over the weekend dangerous, but he's also cautioning the U.S. against intimidating the country. Is this a message directed at Washington, do you think? He's saying don't intimidate North Korea, basically, generally speaking. But it obviously, probably talking to the U.S., no?
Well, I think Putin is somewhat beginning to be intimidated by the aggressiveness and assertiveness of the new administration, because we have called them out, for one, backing a war criminal, Assad in Syria, for two, not agreeing with the Minsk Accord and pulling his troops out of Ukraine, and three, for meddling in our elections. And that was totally new. No president has confronted him like that. I do believe there's an opportunity here, Maria, because while we're working with the Chinese, I think this is a place where we can work with the Russians, because the Russians do not want that peninsula destabilized. They do not want confrontation between the North Koreans and the United States and South Korea, to be sure.
Right.
So I think there's opportunity here to possibly work with them. I don't want to be too optimistic about it, but there is something here, and I think those comments turn them around and look at it more positively, that Russia is interested in stability in the region. Okay, let's take advantage of that and see if we can use the Russians to put also pressure on the North Koreans the way China is doing.
General, we have breaking news right now. The Associated Press is reporting that the Russian ministry, the foreign ministry, is denying reports this morning that President Trump revealed any classified information last week. We know that the story that the mainstream media is going with, we're trying to get to the bottom of it where there's truth, but now the Russians are saying there was no classified information revealed. What's your take?
Look, none of us were in the room. Only a few people were. And the people that were in the room, not the people that are sourcing to the Washington Post and others. And I know General McMaster very well. He stood up and told the American people that those stories are false, that the President of the United States did not reveal any intelligence value or sources to the Russians. And I believe General McMaster. I know for a fact he would not lie to the American people. So I think the story is one of these false stories that come out as part of this anti-Trump business that's going on in Washington, D.C., that maybe the rest of the country can't even figure out what's going on here and why is it happening.
Yeah, but you know what?
But it's true.
The why is it happening is a really important point, because who was in the room, General, right? I mean, the president still has issues with people that he can't trust that are right around him. Because who was in the room and who mentioned to an aide, maybe somebody in the room mentioned to an aide, and then the aide goes and calls the Washington Post, oh, President Trump just, revealed important information, and then they create this incredible story about it. So once again, I mean, he fires Jim Comey, saying that maybe, the leaks will stop. The leaks aren't stopping. There remain people around him, General, that are undermining him.
No, that's true. And certainly when I saw the story, I said, wow, this nonsense is still going on,
right.
Because not necessarily the principals in the room, but who they talk to. But listen, we're also monitoring the conversations of those officials when they left the White House. Believe me, we're targeting their car, the conversations in their car. We're targeting them when they get back to the facility they're in.
Sure.
And maybe they talked about something that took place, and intelligence service picked it up, and they did the linking. Who knows?
Yeah.
But listen, and another thing our audience should know, it would not be unusual for a president to discuss things that are sensitive, with another country as they discuss things with us. But
of course.
What would be unusual is for a president to reveal where he got that information from.
Yeah. Seems unlikely. General, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good talking to you, Maria.
General Jack Keane joining us there.